And water too. I mean, water is, listen, for all I know, this was misinformation. But I did see something come out around, like, one town they were building the data centers. Didn't they deplete the well? They were coming into well issues. The well was starting to dry out. And whether or not that was even correct or not, those are things you have to be careful with, right? Because if all of a sudden you allow a big data center to be developed in your area, right, and you're having, because where we're going with water is it takes water as a coolant, right? So it's cooling all of these systems, right? And it's using an exorbitant amount of water. So that's another factor in terms of resources. The amount of water and the amount of electricity that these centers require is a lot, and it really does impact the entire infrastructure of any places these places are being developed. So that has to be thoughtfully planned and resourced.
Just to not scare everybody, data centers are not bad.
No. Yeah.
There's data centers here already. They've quietly existed for a very long period of time. It's just the rapid expansion and the Hunger Games to be the first one into a market. That's kind of what our cautionary tale is. We have data centers in the Hudson Valley. They've been there for a long time. You drive by them and you don't even know they're there.
Yeah. Add on this is speak about the healthcare, area, the AI applications. We believe there's still a few phases. Right now is to figure out the feasibility, technical feasibilities, performance. Then if they meet performance, the bottom line is in the healthcare systems, you want to demonstrate that this AI tools not as good as the current, even better than the current systems, current medical system in the real clinical practice. This is the phase one. Then phase two will be how to apply this in the clinical practice from the technical to we call clinical utility. So this is another level of the complexity. From the legal perspective, ethnic perspective, HIPAA perspective, how implement this technology gradually, change our clinical practice down the road. Then also is think about it in the new hospital, right, or the older hospital, because you can imagine older hospital, well-established systems, how smoothly transitions take another step. So that's why it's good at the beginning, but we need to put more effort on learn the feasibility, technology, performance, and then narrow it down in which settings at least start evaluate this one, use it as the clinical, the utility, apply in the clinical setting. Glad FDA also pretty open. Recently organized several workshops, even public workshops. You can join, from the government perspective, open AI, the potential application in the AI in the healthcare. Several actually too, FDA already approved, particularly the device, using this medical device to apply, help the cancer diagnosis or the other disease diagnosis, which is also kind of early steps here.
Yeah, and I think, to Meg's point too, I'm quite bullish. Obviously, I work in it and stuff like that. And even if I wasn't personally benefiting, I'm very bullish. But I do think that as we're rapidly expanding and building, when they come to these local areas, there needs to be just wider consideration for everything. So that was more the point. Not that we shouldn't have data centers here. If that can bring jobs and awesome stuff, I think that's great. I was curious to get a sense for everyone, because it's everything's moving so fast. And one of the promises right now, and I think it is coming true, is that there's efficiency gains with these AI initiatives within these businesses that you're all working with and seeing maybe in your personal experience. And I was curious, because that's the big promise right now, that's the big ROI actually. And I was curious if you guys had any experiences either personally or with what you're working with to kind of demonstrate, have there been efficiency gains, and then what have you done with those efficiency gains, or what have you seen people do with those efficiency gains? We can start at the end this time. We'll reverse it.
Sure. Especially in the nonprofit space and what we're doing and how we're using the tools available to us is, well, first of all, too, I want to say that we're learning. So we're watching all this happening and we're learning and being excited about it, but also being, watching what happens in the course of each day. But we're seeing a lot of efficiency in how we communicate with donors, how we reach out, how we can put pipelines together, how different things will talk to each other. And I think it's, taking tools that we already had, adding on AI to that so it starts to learn and we can train it to see different functions so that we can efficiently communicate and connect all the pieces, because there's so many different pieces that we need to have connected. And I think that for us is where we see it. For example, connecting on a financial level, all the things that we use with QuickBooks Online to our bank accounts, to using Zapier and AI to take those pieces and have them form budgets for us. So instead of me going and using Excel and creating these different things, now it's doing it for us, where we don't have any data loss. We can protect everything that we're doing, but at the same time, it's creating the forms that we need. So that's saving tons of time where we can just look at the data. It's creating it on its own from our prompts, and we can use those tools. So that's just one thing that we're doing.
One of my favorite success stories is a lobster fishery in Maine. They partnered with an AI company to do a data analytics project, and they uploaded 10, 15 years of fishing data of what the global temperatures and the temperatures of the water, what the market demand was in that season, how it, all these data points that they had and were able to really effectively use. And they were able to use all that data in a way with the AI tools to predict what the market demands and what the price per unit, what the price per catch, and where they needed to deploy their fleet to positively impact their margins and better prepare for the fishing season. So that one's a little bit of like a fringe case, but I think we talk about it a lot in like the agentic and the generative applications of it, but the data analytics and the ability to take really large data sets from multiple different areas like weather data and fishing data and water temperature data and have it help you make business choices. I think that's a very powerful tool with probably a very good ROI on the investment that organization took.
So I'll take it from an individual productivity standpoint, right? So I have found now that I'm using ChatGPT, it has increased my productivity by 75%. When I first came in today, Ben asked me, what keeps you busy? To be honest with you, I'm not that busy anymore because of ChatGPT. All right, now, I use ChatGPT as a thinking partner, right? I don't go in there asking it for things that I'm not already an expert in. Because remember what I said about human in the loop, all right? Most people think, like, they come up with all of these ideas, they do all of their work, and then they run it through AI almost to validate their work. Flip it the other way around, right? Adopt an AI first mindset. Go in first with the right prompt. Get really good at prompting. If there's one tip you take away from today, it's learning how to prompt really well, okay? Because if you can get really good at prompting, especially in areas that you're specializing in, you'll start to find these chat bots to be very great partners for you, okay? Now, to kind of give you a little anecdote, which is not necessarily business related, but I'm also, so aside from my business, I also volunteer a lot in my community. So I'm in Cornwall. All right, I am on the comprehensive planning committee. We're in the middle of updating our comprehensive plan this year, and I'm also on the economic development advisory committee for the town. Earlier this year, we embarked on updating our comprehensive plan. Okay, it's been about 10 years since it was actually not 2019 was when we last updated it, but it was pre-COVID. Now, the first thing we wanted to do was think about how to engage the community to hear what they needed. What was the community's needs? What were their priorities? What did they want? So the first thing we did was we deployed a survey. We conducted a series of workshops. We had a handful of different public forums. Now, all of those different touch points recorded everything. So from a survey standpoint, right, obviously we have all that data. Everything's, we can get all that digitally. But every single workshop, every single public forum, if you're not familiar with an app called Otter, Otter is basically a recording and transcription AI app, okay? There's other ones out there, Fathom, right? There's a bunch of them out there. But what I would do is I would go to the meetings and I would just hit record, let it record the entire meeting, let it record the debating, let it record public comments, all of it. Basically, we had about 6 or 7 key data points from all of these different sessions, uploaded it all into ChatGPT, all right? Within a matter of minutes, I had a 97-page research study, a current state assessment for the entire town, in terms of what the priorities were, what the needs were, right, what the goals should be, what the recommendations should be, as well as breaking down exactly how it all aligns to what the community priorities actually were. Right now, all of that basically made up an entire current state assessment that is now feeding the updates to the comprehensive plan, which will then go to public hearing. I say all of this because think creatively about data, right? And what information you can gather to help get to the outputs that you're trying to get, right? And you'll find, even from a business context, attending meetings, recording meetings, right? One of the things I'm doing right now is I record every single meeting, every single call, and I organize them all into different client folders. And guess what? Anytime I have a question, I could just put it right in there and say, hey, did we ever have a conversation about this? Did they ever mention this? What about this? And because all of that data has been stored, now what you're doing is you're training your chat bots, right, with all of this historical data that you can go back from, and the engine itself is learning from you, right? And the more you work with it and the more you're collaborating with it, the more it continues to learn from you, right? And over time, it just becomes very sophisticated and really understanding exactly what you're trying to do and how you want to do it. And you'll find that it actually becomes a stronger and stronger partner with you over time the more that you do use it.
Completely agree with you. That's exactly my daily life changing as well. For the meeting part, exactly, after we have a clear meeting agenda, PM, project manager set up, then, and at the end of meetings, we'll immediately have the summary. Even like today's panel list, will give what is your major comments, what are everybody's, then, and also what's today's main message, bring the take-home message, key message for the audience to bring back home. One thing I want to kind of share is the AI part we are talking about. I'm not non-coding. I'm not, I don't know any, the Python or the coding. I'm not a data science, computer science backgrounds. The fascinating part is all the AI tools do not require anything you need it. You don't need to know all this basic computer, coding skill language. You just use it. For examples, let's say recently, YouTube channels, right? Traditionally you need a cameraman, set up this one, right? In front of a studio, take a recording. Now you can try NVIDIA. Actually, put your script, what exactly you want to shoot a story, right? Then put the content part, the script, and even record your voice. And 20 minutes later, come out 10, 15 minutes of videos with your own voice. Of course, you can gradually modify it. You see just use the AI tools to make your life easier, your daily job easier, improve, maybe change your quality of your life as well. So I enjoy some friends know I have enjoyed the gardening, right? So now I don't need to worry about my garden, watering, because I have automated irrigations and is now based on the weather. So, okay, due to the storm coming, we'll delay the 24 hours for your watering my gardens, right? And I'm trying some AI tools as well. Down the road, if you think about AI agents, I'm still testing different, AI agent tools. In the coming weeks, I feel comfortable. In the morning when I wake up, some interesting topic will go to my email box. Okay, in the last 12 hours, what's going on happening related to my anti-cancer, clinical new drug development, some financial news are interested or AI news, this email will go to my email box. Meanwhile, the AI agent will remind me, hey, from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock, what are the meetings you have, who should meet, and the person you meet will give you some background, professor, who is rich, what kind of background, what is his objective of that meetings, help me to prepare my daily job. Meanwhile, or remind me, my casual time as well. With all the AI to AI agents, could make our daily job more efficient, and also you have more time to concentrate something you want to do, or enjoy something, your life as well. So that's don't feel I'm not data science, I cannot do, maybe I don't know how to do coding. Just try it. There's so many AI tools. Find your need, try the AI tools, then maybe come out something, hey, actually last time the AI symposium, one of the panelists mentioned about, she went to the museum, right, together with her daughter, and in front of pictures, she wants to, give her daughter a lecture. What exactly this picture behind the stories? then this is kind of very interesting. So she went back and developed some AI tools, and work with the library, the donor come out very nice, the AI tools. So find in your life some interesting area, your interest, then using AI tool to address this question. Maybe provide service, provide the values, and consequently, it will be the business opportunity.